Hello and welcome to Language Learning Made Easy. In today's video, I'm going to recapitulate notice writing, which is one of the most important writing skills of class 12 English course syllabus. Let's get started. So these are the indicators on the basis of which you're going to get marks. The format in notice writing is for 1 mark. Content is for 2 marks. Accuracy of spelling and grammar is for 1 mark. Now what is the meaning of format? What is the meaning of content and accuracy of spelling and grammar is what we are going to see in the next slide. This is what the format looks like. It means that if you're going to talk about, if you're going to write all these things in your notice, then you're going to secure 1 mark out of 1. So what is the first thing that you need to write in a notice? It is name of the organization or institution. Name of the organization or institution, because this is the one that issues the notice, right? So it's the issuing authority. Then you have to write the word notice in capital letters. Some children ask me whether they have to write this name of the organization in capital letters or not. It is on you to write it in capital letters or just the initials in capital letters. After this, the word notice has to be in capital letters. Wherever I'm drawing this arrow, it indicates that you have to leave a line. Alright, so I've drawn an arrow over here and it clearly shows that you have to leave a line over here. And why do we need to leave a line? It is for organizing your content beautifully and making it look presentable. Then in the next line, you have to write the date. And as you can see, both name of the organization and the word notice are centrally aligned. That means they are written right in the center of the box that is before us. And date has to be left indented. Left indented means suppose this is the margin or this is the box that you have created, so it should be on the left hand side. How will you write the date? It is always supposed to be written in expanded form. Now what is expanded form? Suppose today is 7th August. So how will you write the date? You will write 7 August 2023. No comma anywhere. Nothing at all. No exponential, no commas anywhere. Just write it like this. After this, again you can see that I have drawn an arrow. It indicates that you have to leave a line. Now moving on to the heading. Heading is the most crucial part of the entire structure. Why is it important? Now I always give this example to my students, which is for you also to understand. Whenever you receive an email, just take an example of an email. Whenever you receive an email, you don't open every email. You open email on the basis of the subject line. So when you open the subject line, when you see that it's important for you, when you see that it's something that you cannot miss out on, then only you click on that mail and you read it further. If you find that the subject line does not cater to you, it does not interest you, or it is not something that you must be reading about, then you either archive that particular mail or you trash it altogether. So here also the heading itself is giving you a peek inside the notice. By the means of the heading, we'll get to know what is it that we're going to read in the notice. So heading plays a crucial part. How will you write the heading? It has to be a 4 to 5 word long heading, which should give you a crux of what the notice is all about. Now after writing the heading, you have to underline it as well. Just in order to highlight it, you must underline it. Moving ahead. Okay. Moving ahead, what do you see here? Body. That means the central part of the notice is referred to as the body, wherein you're going to give information, wherein you're going to seek people's attention, wherein you're going to let them know that why are you writing this notice. And this body of the notice is referred to as the content. And for writing this content beautifully and in an organized manner, you get 2 marks. What do you get? You get 2 marks. Now this body of the notice has to be for 50 to 60 words. Once you're done with writing the body, what are you going to do? You're going to put your signatures in the next line, followed by your name. If there is no name given in the question, you will simply write ABC or XYZ. Now what is the name? Name whatever is given in the question, because that person will become the representative of this issuing authority. For example, if the secretary is writing on behalf of ABC school, then that person's name has to come here. Alright. then in the last bit, what will you write? Designation. Suppose you are the secretary, or you are the AO, or you are the director, or whosoever you are, in whatever authority you are issuing this notice, you will be writing that towards the end. So let's give a quick recap. Number one, in the format, you're going to write the name of the organization. It should be centrally aligned, followed by the word notice. Again, it should be centrally aligned. Then you will leave a line and write date on the left hand side. It should be in expanded form. Again, leave a line, write the heading in the center. And what will it look like? It should be a very short and crisp heading, and it has to be underlined for the purpose of highlighting. Then you will start with the body of your notice. Notice will end with the body, and after that the format will again begin. What will you write in the format? Signatures, followed by name of the person who is writing this notice, and designation, whatever designation you have been given in the question. Let's move ahead. Now these are certain pointers that you need to map in your mind. What is notice writing? What is it that you need to contain in it? What are the ingredients of a good notice? So there should be a format. You must draw attention of the concerned authorities, or you must draw the attention of the target audience. After that, if there is a, suppose it's a question on notice that has to be put up on the school's notice board or college notice board, then who is the target audience? Are you inviting students of classes 9 to 12, or you're inviting students of college, or who is your target audience? You have to mention it in your notice. Now you can say classes, or you can say target audience, and after that you must mention date, time, venue, because without this important ingredient, your notice will not look complete in itself. If you are not mentioning the date, time, on venue you are organizing this event on, suppose it's an event, notice about an event or a function that is coming up, or if you're inviting names for certain cultural show which is coming up, without date, time and venue, the notice will remain insufficient in terms of its data. Then you also have to write a line with reference to the undersigned. Don't worry, all these things will make sense when I'll show you a question followed by a sample answer. So stay tuned. Alright, this is a question that I have picked from CBSE's recently released sample paper 2023. This is one of the option questions that was there. So please take a look at it. You are the secretary of the Neighborhood Watch Scheme. So by reading the question itself, we get to know what is the name of the issuing authority. The issuing authority is Neighborhood Watch Scheme, Justinapur. You need not go into these many details. You need not write the complete address and the name of the issuing authority. This much is absolutely fine. Neighborhood Watch Scheme, Justinapur, because it has to be centrally aligned, and we cannot, we cannot stretch it to the next line. This much is absolutely fine. So this is the name of the organization or the issuing authority. Draft a notice for the society notice board informing students about the change of personnel. Okay, so what do you have to inform? Sorry, this is not student, this should be residents. Okay, so draft a notice for the society notice board informing residents about the change of personnel. Now what is a personnel? Personnel is the labor or the security guards that you have, or the people who are coming to guard your society. Okay, so personnel is particularly referring to that only. So you have to write a notice which informs the residents of the society about the change in personnel, head security gate number 2, and share necessary details. That means you have been asked to fabricate details. How is it that you're going to inform the residents of your society about this change in the personnel? Also include the news of the installation of the much awaited security camera on the eastern periphery of the society. What is the meaning of eastern periphery of society? Periphery means the margin. Suppose this is gate number 2. So whatever area you see it, surrounded by, that particular area also needs to be guarded by a camera, right? So you also need to inform people about the installation of the camera, which they had been waiting for a long period of time. So this is what the question is all about. Now let's get started. First thing, children, always remember that you have to put this notice in a box. It should be in a square box. It should not be a rectangular box. It should be in a square box, and everything should get covered on a single page. Now I have paucity of space, so I could not write everything on this particular slide itself. So you will find some of the information being trickled over to the next page. So don't worry about that. What you have to do is, suppose this is how your paper looks, right? So you will please, you will be mindful of the space that you're using. So you will be making a box like this, and you'll be writing everything inside this box, and this box should not break or be trickled over to the next page. Ensure that you are writing everything in the space provided, and you are not breaking the box to pass on the information to the next page. All right, now first thing that I've written in this box is the name of the issuing authority. As I informed you, name of the issuing authority is Neighborhood Watch Scheme, Justinapur. Can you see? And after this, I have written the word notice in capital. This is followed by the date. However, I written the date, I have written it in expanded form, 7th August 2023. After this, you have to leave a line, and after leaving a line, what do you have to write? Change of head security personnel. Now the main concern why I am making this particular, why I am writing this notice or why I am sharing this information is to inform the residents about the change of head security personnel. It is not for anything else. Obviously, extra information about the camera installation will be provided, but the main concern is to let people know, let the residents know that there is a change in the head security personnel, and this is why I am writing this particular notice. So this is what is the, this is what the heading will look like, and I have underlined it for your time perusal. Now let's start with it. This is to apprise the residents of NWS Justinapur. I need not write the entire name once again. So I will curtail it. What will I do? I will curtail it. So this is to apprise. Apprise means to notify somebody. Apprise the residents of NWS Justinapur that there is a change in the personnel of the head security gate number 2 due to expiry of contract, or if you think that there is any other concern that you can mention here which seems relevant, because they have asked you to fabricate information, they have asked you to share necessary details. So it's on you and your creativity to think of an excuse or think of a reason which seems particularly relevant to this context, and that can be provided over here. So for me, I felt that if I am going to write something like this, because there is a possibility that there is a change in the company and the contract has to be renewed, or they have found a better company which is giving them better people to guard our society with. So this could be one of the reasons, or that is why I've put a slash here, or any other reason that you think could be added here can be mentioned. So other pressing concerns. The new personnel will hold duties from Thursday, 10th August 2023. So in 2 lines, you would have been able to see that I'm telling people why we are changing the personnel and why are we appointing a new, personnel of security at gate number 2. And I'm also letting them know that they are going to resume their duties, or they are going to hold on to their duties from 10th August 2023, right? So you have to mention these kind of details. Further, the installation of the much awaited security camera will happen on the same date. Now I'm not, complicating the entire notice. I'm simply adding one line which will let them know that the installation of the camera will happen on the same date as the change of the security personnel. This will not confuse the residents, and it's going to come out very clearly. You have organized your content beautifully if you're going to present it like this. Now, the next lines could not come on this slide, so I have shifted them to the next line. As I have told you, do not do that on your piece of paper. It's too big to contain the information. Here there was paucity of space, so I could not help it but shift it to the next line. So keep yourself tuned. This is how the box will end, and what will you write at the end? What will you conclude it with? You will say, for any further assistance or for any further queries, please contact the undersigned. You have to mention that they have to contact you in case they have any troubles understanding what has been dished out to them, or if they have any concerns with respect to the notice that has been released by the issuing authority. After that, I've put a signatures over here. Signature, this could be any signature that you would like to put. You can put your own signatures as well. After that, I've written the name of the secretary who has released this particular notice, and followed by designation, that is secretary, comma NWS. This is how you have to write a notice. This was one of the sample answers to the notice questions that has been given by CBSE. If you have any other queries with respect to notice writing, then do post them in the comment section. Hello and welcome to part 2 of revision of writing skills for class 12th English course syllabus. In this particular lesson, I'm going to revise invitations and their replies. Let's get started. Now, what is an invitation and how do you write an invitation is what we are going to go on to after understanding what is an invitation. Now, an invitation is a request or a solicitation or an attempt to get another person to join you at an event. Whenever you want the other person to be a part of a certain event, then you write an invitation to them. Okay, you draft an invitation when you want that particular person, or you want a gathering of people to be a part of that particular occasion. Now, invitations are of two types. One is the formal invitation and the other one is an informal invitation. Formal invitations are written in two styles. What are the two styles? Card style and letter style. It's important for us to know that there are two styles, card style and letter style. We are going to talk about it in detail when we are going to proceed to further slides. Now, informal invitation, on the other hand, is supposed to be written in these two styles: informal letter style and format. Whenever you're writing an informal invitation, obviously it has to have a touch of acquaintance, of love, of politeness, okay, because you're writing it to somebody who is acquainted to you or who is related to you by blood or by friendship. Shall proceed to the next slide. As I just informed you, what is a formal invitation? Formal means you're writing it to a person formally and you want them to be a part of your event or occasion. Now, there are two styles, as I just talked about in the previous slide: card style and the other one is the letter style of format. Okay, now what is the card style of writing an invitation? It's important for you to know what a card style means. You would have seen it in your real life as well. You would have definitely received a lot of card style invites for weddings, for birthdays, for inauguration of shops, for inauguration of a particular mall, right? From your relatives and acquaintances, because they want you. This is the most common style of writing an invite. Now, so this can be sent to all and sundry. So if I want to invite a group of people on a certain occasion, I'm going to make use of the card style. It's formal and it's going to look, it's the most appropriate, commonly used card style invite. So birthday, inauguration and wedding are the examples of this kind of format. Proceeding to the letter style of formal invitation. Always remember that you have to adopt the letter style of writing the formal invite to invite only the chief guest. Suppose there's an event that is being hosted by the school or by a company, then they are definitely going to ask somebody to preside over, and that particular person is the chief guest. So how will you invite the chief guest? Are you going to send this invite to them? No, it's only going to be appended. But there's going to be a formal letter that you're going to draft in order to ask that person to come over or to be a part of that particular occasion, right? So letter style of formal invite is supposed to be taken up, is supposed to be written only when you are writing it to the chief guest, only when you are inviting the chief guest and requesting his presence on the occasion. Okay. Let's understand the ingredients or the format of the card style invitation. What are the things that must be there in a card style invitation? Number one, it should always be in a box. Don't forget that the content has to be put in the box. Now, how will you make the box is for us to understand. This is the square box that you're going to make. Some children do not make the box on a single page. They have this habit of breaking the box and putting half of the information on the next page. Don't do that. Your marks are going to be deducted and you will not be able to get anything good out of it. So ensure that you're mindful of the space and you are mindful of the space and you are sprawling all your content in a single box on a single page. Proceeding to the ingredients. What is it that you must mention in the card style format or formal invitation, irrespective of the question you get? You must mention the name of the host. Who is it who is hosting this event? His name or their name must be there at the beginning of the invite. It should be followed by the name of the guest. That means who is it who is going to be invited as the chief guest? Who is it who is going to preside over as the guest of honor? Now, date, time and venue of the occasion are equally important, right? How can you send an invite without letting them know what the occasion is? And how can you send an invite without mentioning important details such as date, time and venue in the invite? So they are very crucial and they must be included in the invitation. Introductory line is supposed to be written. There are different styles of introducing your invitation to the public at large, and I'm going to help you out with the same as we proceed with the slides. Closing statement. In order to put a complimentary close to it, you must end it up with a closing statement as well, followed by complimentary close. So take a screenshot of this quickly so that we can proceed further. All right. Let's move on. This is how your invitation should look like. Don't mind the headings and the important underlinings that I've done here. First thing that you can see, it's a square box and you don't have to make it with a rough hand. You have to use a proper ruler and pencil for it. And the first thing that you're going to include in this invitation is the name of the host. So who is the host here? The principal, staff and students of Sri Venkateshwar International School, Dwarka. This is the name of the host or host. So this is how the invitation will start, okay, with the name of the host who is extending this invitation to one and all. Then we have the opening line or the introductory line. What is it? Request the pleasure of your benign presence. This is the introductory line that you're going to make use of. However, if you feel that you have a better line to replace it with, you can very well go ahead with it. I have written two more lines over here which you can replace this particular line with, and they are, instead of writing request the pleasure of your benign presence, you can also write cordially invites you on the occasion of. Okay, cordially invites you on the occasion of. Or you can say solicit your gracious presence on the occasion of. You can use either of these in order to suit your requirements. Now after this, I mentioned the event in capital. Can you see it's in capital letters? Because, and you can also increase the font or font of this particular title. Why? Because you want to attract the attention of the other people. You want them to feel that this is the highlighted portion of the event. Why is it that we are extending this invitation? It's because of this event that we are celebrating at our schools, at our school. So what is Tarang? The annual cultural program, and I have written it in brackets so that people get more clarity about this invitation. On. Now date, time and venue has been mentioned here. Can you see Saturday 20th October 2023 at 5 p.m. in the school auditorium. Again the venue has been highlighted. Why have I highlighted the school auditorium here? Why have I highlighted the place or the venue of this particular place? It's because I want people to know that this is the place where they have to come and assemble, or where they have to be a part of the event. This is where the program is going to take place. So it's very important to highlight a few details by putting them in capital letters and increasing their font. After this, I've drawn an arrow. You don't have to draw an arrow. This arrow is drawn so that you know that you have to leave a line over here. It's an indication of the fact that you have to leave a line over here. And now why do we need to leave a line over here? Otherwise, what will happen is that the content should not seem to be getting hodgepodge, right? It should not be running over each other. It should look very organized and structured, and that is why we must leave a line over here. Now, after leaving a line, I have again written the name of the guest here in capital letters so as to attract the attention of the audience. What have I done here? Shri Kamal Singh Tanwar. Now this detail may or may not be given in the question. There is a possibility that they have mentioned the name of the guest whom you are going to invite on the occasion, or you may have to invent necessary details. I have invented this necessary detail here. I have invited this person, I have fabricated this name, and under this I have also mentioned the designation of this person. Who this person is? He is the former president of Akshara Productions. Now, it's very important for you to apply your logic here. If it's a cultural show, then obviously you have to invite somebody who belongs to the same field so that they are able to pass a judgment which meets the requirement or the theme of the particular occasion. If you're inviting somebody who is completely off, who is completely different from the theme of your occasion, then it's going to be absolutely, it will not go in tandem with it then. So it's very important for you to check on these details. However, it's absolutely your choice to write any name over here and think of any person who fits in the requirement of the occasion. After that, you have to write a closing line. Has kindly consented to preside over as the chief guest. You want people to be a part of it, and you want them to know that this particular person is going to be the chief highlight of the occasion and he has given his consent to be the chief guest. After that, again, I have drawn an arrow which indicates that you have to leave a line, followed by RSVP, name of the person. Now, who is it whose name is going to come? In this case, it's the principal's name. If it's not given in the question, you will simply write ABC or XYZ, followed by contact details. It's very important for you to provide the contact details in the invitation so that people can contact you in case they have any problem or in case they have any, questions or queries to put forth. This is how your invitation should look like. Now it's very important for you to know how to put this information in a box. Right now it may seem to be sprawled because I have underlined a few things, but I'll tell you how to go about it. Suppose this is the box that you have made. Always ensure when you're practicing questions on invitations, you are sprawling the entire content in an I style, in the I format. Now what do I mean by that? Just draw a dotted line over here inside the box. Write the name of the host here, followed by the name of the date, occasion, date, time, venue, name of the person who is presiding over, followed by the designation here, and then closing line will come here. Then how will you put a complimentary close to it? It will come on the left hand side, indented to the margins. Okay. So if you're going to practice it in this dotted I style within the box, it's going to make your content look very structured and organized. So this is only meant for practice purpose. Otherwise, you know that we don't have to make anything inside the box except the content. Okay, now proceeding to the second style of formal invitation, that is the letter style. As informed earlier, letter style of invitation is supposed to be given only to the chief guest. Okay, whenever you're writing to the chief guest, you cannot send a card style format to him. How will you invite them? You have to give a personal touch to your letter. You have to let that person know that how important he is for this particular occasion and how indispensable his presence is going to be. So you have to include the name of the invitee. It has to be in a formal letter format. Format has to be that of the formal letter. I will talk about it in the upcoming slides. Your tone has to be requesting. You have to acknowledge their role in their respective field. You have to let that person know that he is important for this occasion because of a certain thing in him. Okay, because he carries a certain prestige in the market. Then you also have to mention the occasion, date, time, venue, and you also towards the end have to let that person know that we are seeking or anticipating a response from their end. Followed by everything in run-on lines. Since it's a letter, you cannot write details in one corner and the other corner. It has to be in run-on lines. Okay. Now let's proceed further. This is the format of a letter style formal invitation. First thing is sender's address. It should be written in 3 lines. Then I've drawn an arrow which indicates that you have to leave a line. Everything that I've written is indented to the left hand side. So ensure that you're also following the same. Again, this letter has to be in a box. Okay. Sender's address in 3 lines, leave a line, date. Date should be written in expanded form. Suppose today is, this is the expanded style or expanded form of date. Okay, and this is how you're going to go about it. This is how you have to write. Then you will be writing receiver's designation and address. What is your designation? Who are you writing as to the person whom you're inviting? Are you the chairman? Are you the principal? Are you the administrative officer? Are you the manager? Who are you? Right? So you have to write your designation followed by the address. So it will come somewhere in 4 lines. After this, you have to leave a line and write the subject. What will be the subject line? It should be crisp and short. What will you write here? You will write invitation to preside over blah blah blah, whatever the event is. Leave a line and then salutation, dear sir or madam. There should be no comma following it. Leave a line after that, and then comes the body of the invitation. Body of the invitation, I'm going to give you a sample in the subsequent slides. After that, you have to leave a line and then complimentary close. Complimentary close means you have to write yours truly or sincerely, whatever suits you. Just use any either of these and you're going to put a close to your invitation, followed by name of the person who is doing it and designation. Okay, so take a quick screenshot of this slide and we are good to go to the next one. Proceeding further. Now this particular slide you can take a screenshot of because I have written a sample body of the formal invite in the letter style. Dear sir, it gives us immense pleasure to inform you that we are celebrating our school's annual cultural program Tarang on 20th October 2023, Saturday, 5 p.m. onwards in the school auditorium. What have I done? I've used run-on lines. Okay? These are called run-on lines, one line passing on to the other. What have I done in this? I have used a formal tone and I have invited this person on the occasion. So I've mentioned the name of the event, I've mentioned date, time, venue. I have also let him know that I'm elated to invite him over this program. After this, I've left a line and then I've written, we shall consider it a great honor if you could grace the occasion and preside over the function as the chief guest. Your bolstering presence will be well appreciated. Children, I suggest you to take a screenshot of it. You can learn this content as it is and produce it in the exam. It's going to ease out the pressure of thinking what to write, and it's also going to be, a great example which can be taken up in the exams. After writing this, towards the end, you also have to write looking forward to a positive response or anticipating a positive response from your end. This is how you're going to put an end to it. Proceeding further. Now we are done with the formal invitations. Now we are going to proceed to the informal invitation. How will you inform somebody informally about an event that's going to happen at your place? Okay. So it follows the format of an informal letter. The tone has to be friendly yet cordial. Date, time, venue along with occasion has to be mentioned. Personal touch has to be there. So if I'm writing it to my own sister, if I'm writing it to my relative, then I'm not going to be as formal as I was in the previous styles of invitations. I'm going to bring in a touch of friendliness to it. Okay. So these are the ingredients of an informal letter style. Okay. This is how it will look like. What will be the format, children? The format will that of an informal letter style. First thing that you're going to do is to write the sender's address in 3 lines. It will be followed by leaving a line. Then you will write the date, leave a line. Then the third thing that you're going to write is the salutation, body, and then complimentary close. What will you write in the complimentary close? Yours lovingly. Yours truly will also do. Then your name will come. That's it. This is how the format looks like. I repeat, sender's address followed by date, followed by salutation, then body, then complimentary close and your name. This is written in informal letter style. Informal invitation is written in informal letter style. What will you write in the body part? This is very easy for you to write down. But what will you write in the body part? Dear Anita, suppose this is the same question and I have a housewarming party. What will I do in this question? Dear Anita, how have you been all this while? I have been doing great and I'm writing this letter to break a piece of good news. You'll be glad to know that I have finally bought a new house in Sanskriti apartment sector 102 Gurugram. I'm organizing a housewarming party on Saturday 20th October 2023 at 11 am. It's been long since we sat and chatted over a cup of coffee. I look forward to having you and Avik with us. So you can see that in this entire body, what have I done? I have invited my friend who has been long away from me. I have broken the good news to her. I have told her that I have bought a house and it's a housewarming party. This is the date, time, venue, and I have also told her, I've added a personal touch to it by adding a line towards the end that I'm looking forward to meeting you over a cup of tea or coffee. Take a screenshot of this as well and use it. Just fabricate details, change a few things here and there, and you're good to go for writing an informal invitation like this. Proceeding to the replies now. This is the fag end of this particular writing skill. How do you reply to invitations? You will reply in the card style as well as in the letter style, depending on the kind of reply depending on the kind of invitation you have received. Again, if you've received a letter, informal letter style invite, then you're going to reply in the letter style only. If you've received it in the card style, you're going to reply in the card style only. So this is very important for us to understand. This is how you're going to accept the invite. You can say you have to make use of the third person. This is the card style. Mr. Tanwar is deeply honored. Now the chief person, the person who had received that invite, okay, I've taken any name over here, and what you're going to do is, Mr. Tanwar is deeply honored for your kind invitation to the annual cultural program Tarang on Saturday 20th October 2023 from 5 p.m. onwards and takes immense pleasure in accepting the same. Just learn it as it is. You simply have to write everything in third person, mentioning the occasion, date, time, venue, and their reply in acceptance. This is the card style of accepting the invite. However, if you've received the letter style of invite, then you're going to respond in the letter style only. What will you do in that case? You're going to not use the third person, you're going to make use of the first person. You will say, I feel deeply honored to have received the letter of invite from you for the occasion of this particular thing, then mention as it is, and I take much pleasure in being a part of the same. Ensure that you are accepting it, so you're writing accepting the invitation within the box. Now if you're declining the same, only two things will change. This particular thing will change, declining the invitation, it will be replaced with, and here you're going to replace the last line. What will you replace the last line with? Here you have written much pleasure in accepting the same, but in declining the event you're going to write but expresses their disappointment on not being able to attend the same due to some prior engagement. Okay, this is what you're going to end it with. You will just add a line declining the invitation, letting them know that it's not possible for you to be a part of it because you're already caught up or you're already tied up with some prior engagement. So card style will have to be responded to in card style, letter style will have to be responded in the letter style. Alright, so this is the end of this very important topic. I hope you all understood. If you still have any doubts, you can put them in the comment box. Thank you so much. Have a good day.